here. I need sparkles. I need to like go like this, and then there's sparkles. That's what I need. So, and I go poof, and then all the special effects come in. Yes, that's what I need. So welcome everybody, and thank you for joining me. My name is Mary June Tracy, psychic medium, spiritual love of life coach, and astrologer. What is happening today? Whew. Wow. A few things. I think with the moon in Aries, there is a little bit of hot-headedness. It's not a full moon yet. Full moon will be tomorrow morning. And I think around 7 a.m. tomorrow morning will be the full moon. So it's going to be interesting. I think there's a lot of contentious, that's the word, that's my new word, contentious energies in the cosmos. So a lot of contentious energies in the cosmos. Good morning, everybody. Thank you for joining. There is, I mean, yes, this is a forward movement. We have with this moon in Aries, we have 4 planets gone forward. This is a forward motion. Now, we have to also remember that we are in the shadow, the post-shadow phases of all these retrograde, the planets that were retrograde that are going forward. So it's bringing up a lot of stuff that we were just sort of looking over, talking about, and it's coming up in our faces. So a lot of decisions are having to be made or going forward, or a lot of where, especially with this Aries energy, this is not, and then Mars is opposing it. This isn't a time to hide away from truth or hide away from any confrontation. This isn't about having, going into full-blown craziness, although North Korea did do some crazy shit in the last 24 hours, but we'll just hope, put it out there to the Holy Spirit that things work out okay. This isn't about hiding, or because I feel like if you're not going to confront things, if you're just going to go ho hum, let me go along with this, whatever's coming forward for you, you're going to find that within the next couple of weeks, as we move towards a new moon in Scorpio, you're not going to be happy, and there's going to be even more blowouts than what there were with this full moon. The thing is, it's a full moon in Aries, but the sun is in Libra. So Libra is all about law, contracts, balancing. So this is also where if you don't want to sign something, don't sign it. Like don't sign something because you feel like you're going to it's the last straw. Like, if I don't sign this, oh my God, kind of thing. That's false. It's not true. It's not, oh my God. The thing is that if you just sort of concede to things within your life right now, you're going to find that it's going to be extremely difficult. It's going to be very heartbreaking for you. And it's going to explode. It's going to really explode for you. So you really have to go into some deep soul searching over the next today and tomorrow and through the rest of the week. This is deep soul searching. This is about time. There's a lot of money matters that are coming in. This full moon has a lot of aspects, and with the 2nd and 8th house, and especially with the New York Stock Exchange. So if anybody who's looked at the New York Stock Exchange natal chart, which is from 17, I get it mixed up if it's 96 or 69. If you look at that natal chart of the New York Stock Exchange, when it was formed, and the aspects that it has to that with this full moon, which is very, very interesting. With Pluto going forward, and Pluto's going to go all the way up to 28 degrees this year, this is uncharted territories for us. We haven't been in this territory for 250 years. So this is an area of the world of life that we have not entered in before, and we are now entering in. And this moon is activating a lot of that energy. It is thrusting us into the nuances of change. Now, when it hits for the finances, there's a lot of things that can go on. and especially where Pluto is now, and then we have that Aries energy coming in. This is going to bring in a lot to do with finances. So I'm not a financial advisor, so please, I am not a financial advisor. I'm just going by the astrology. So what we saw with something similar in March of 2020 is that the stock exchange dropped. There was a lot of drop with money and things along that line. So we may be seeing things to do with money. So when it comes to your own financials, this could have to do with job security, which is coming up for a lot of people. So a lot to do with money and how the resources of the money for you, how does that pertain to your particular life? Is there going to be a increase or decrease within your money? More than likely, it's going to be some sort of decrease that is coming in with this full moon. So, and as I say that, with the full moon, what ends up happening is like, it's not that day, it's like, boom, it all happens. We start to see the buildup, and it starts to play out over the next several days, even weeks from this energy. So we're seeing a buildup of activation when it comes to how things are going to be utilized, especially when it comes to financials. And we are also going to see when it comes, with that boundaries, people's boundaries. How much are you going to, take, from somebody? And how much is when, and this comes back to if you're not going full steam ahead, or if you are not saying no to something. Let's say, there's a lot coming up with a lot of people's jobs. I know that. But it's if you're not trusting your whole self with all of this, and this is where, because the World card is coming up, the World card and the Five of Pentacles keeps coming up. And the Five of Pentacles, when it comes up, it's been coming up reversed too, which is very similar to the Wheel of Fortune card, the number 10. So we know there's some really big transition and changes that are coming up within our own, not only our personal world, but within the world itself, in the global world. And these changes with this moon is bringing in this activation of saying, okay, what direction do I need to be going in for my own personal self? And how does that look? And I need to trust, even though there may be something to do with finances or something to do with something that has to do with loss, that I'm going to trust that I'm going to be able to regain it in some way. So this full moon is making a lot of people moody. It's making people exhausted. I know I'm really tired and exhausted as I'm looking at myself on Instagram here, and my mascara is running and everything is just going. But I was just outside and took my grandson to school, so we had a walk, and it was cold. It was cold outside. That wind was bitter cold. So we got to look at all of the things, all of these that are coming forward. And when I see a lot of, especially medical people, like doctors and nurses, that are standing up and saying no to something, it really gets me to think even more of pushes that are being pushed upon people and mandates that are coming down for people. And this is where a lot is going to be addressed. A lot more is going to be coming in. A lot of people are going to be asking more questions and wanting to have answers. So that's where this Mars energy comes in too, is like with this Aries energy, it's like people want answers. They want answers. They don't want bullshitting around. Aries doesn't bullshit. Mars doesn't bullshit. And when we go into Scorpio sure in the fuck don't bullshit. They want answers. They want to know what the truth is that's going on. They want to understand what it is that needs to be done at this time. And that's what they want to know. And for many, this is, I feel like so many, just like, okay, I'm going to call in our election that we just had in Calgary. I mean, so many people want it changed, but of course you went with somebody who's not really going to give you a change. She's going to go along very much with whatever is being spoken at this time and not bring in change. She's going to be very much I'm going to say on the left. I'm neither left or right, but I mean on to a place where it's like, not being able to say certain things, not being able to do certain things, wanting to be in that trend of, this is what everybody's doing. This is what we need to be doing in order to be progressive, per se, instead of standing up and saying what the truth is and what really you need to stand up for mankind and womankind. So I feel like, there's things like that are coming up, and it sort of makes you bang your head on the wall and saying, I thought we were going forward, but it doesn't feel like it. Yet what I believe and what I see through the astrology, what that is, or what that's saying to us, is it's saying to us that we have to expose this kind of stuff more and more so people can understand and so people can see it more. We got to expose a lot more is going to be exposed, and as it is exposed, it's going to get people to see things in a new way, and they're going to be like, oh, now I see it, or oh, but it doesn't. As I say, it's going to take some time for these exposures to happen and for people to actually see the exposure, see the things that are going to come in. It's like, even, when it comes to looking at either the president of the United States or even our prime minister, I mean, people aren't, it's like, oh, well, he's doing something good right now. It's like, okay, there's so much there. Or even with the president, it's just like, is he really there? I mean, so this is exposure that's happening to get people to say it's not about left or right. This is about humanity. This is about taking things in and saying, is this the truth? Is this truth? Or is it my truth that I am projecting here? And that's the thing, is that you got to come in and say, is it true? Because when we ask ourselves, is it true? Because a lot of times we're putting in our own perspective of things. And it's not the truth. What is true doesn't have to be the truth. It could be your truth that you are trying to make true for other people. I know it sounds like a riddle, doesn't it? But it's standing in your, taking an objective view and being the observer and allowing yourself to be the observer and take a look at being the observer of the world and of your, but not subjecting yourself and your truth upon others. This is kind of like a tricky line that we're walking right now, and this is what the Aries full moon is bringing in. It's bringing in this energy of saying, okay, we got to look at what is right. Like, is this coming in as a humanitarian thing? Is this coming in where we are being humanitarian to people, or are we coming in as being the perpetrators and wanting to have the control and be the totalitarian regime that says, I know what's right for you, I know what's right for everybody else? And here this moon is exposing it, and it's an Aries moon. So remember, Aries is the god of war. This is moon, this is internal feelings, it's internal energy that's coming in, and it's combustible. It's fire, it's a spark. Where is that spark going to hit? Is that spark going to hit the gunpowder? Or is that, or is it going to hit a flame that's going to ignite a nice passion and warmth? Is that, this is what this moon is looking at. And with the energies of Kali coming in, it's going to say, okay, you have a choice. I'm feeling more of the gunpowder and explosion, unfortunately, because people still are not seeing the true identity of the underlying energies that are coming in. They're not seeing the truth. They're caught up with, I just need to make a living. I just need to do this. They're not looking at further along, which is something as humans and within our society we don't do. How many of us out there actually look at, oh, okay, winter is coming. Well, winter's out, here is like, have thought the forethought of what do we need to be doing for the winter. Our ancestors did. Many of them, were thinking about, okay, yes, we got to harvest the seeds right now for next year. We got to bring in what, cover our, our crops. This is, many times people have gone out and they've covered the strawberries and made sure the strawberries were fine. This is where, for us as human beings upon this earth walk, have not been the ones who've thought of the future or further on. The only future we may have thought about is maybe our own, and say, when I retire, then. But we haven't thought of the truth of what the effects are of what we are doing upon the earth. And that's the trigger, that's the spark that's coming in and saying, are you looking at what's going to happen to your children's children? That's a lot. But that's what the awakening's all about. That's what it's trying to show you. It's not trying to show you, all of these little things to sidetrack you here and there and say, oh, well, I'm a he, I'm a she, I'm a this, I'm a that. There's debates going on right now if men can breastfeed. I mean, I'm just looking at I'm thinking, this is what I'm thinking. A calf is born. Do you think the calf is going to go find the bull to get the milk? No, he knows where the fucking milk comes from. It's from the mummy cow. He knows. He knows, I'm going to the mummy cows. There's no debate. There's no debate. But we as humans, we want to debate something that is so natural, that is so normal, that we are making it so obscure. And this is where the moon comes in, is saying, and the energies are coming in. It's like, are you really looking at the true truth? Or are you only looking at your truth? Are you coming into your divine wisdom? Are you coming into the divine wisdom that is brought to you by the mundane world and the 3D world, which we know is an illusion, which we know is not true? This is like this push, and there is some beautiful energy there to step in and say, oh, okay, no, I'm not going there. That's a joke. How many of us can come together and make this change? Many don't want to talk about this. Many don't want to say anything about it, especially within the spiritual world, or even find astrologers kind of tiptoe around the fact of society coming, society crumbling. They don't want to talk about the economic strife that's coming in. They don't want to talk about, I heard this and I just about died. This was so heartbreaking. There was a Starbucks that had no coffee. I mean, those are the types of things. Now, if you think about it, Starbucks has no coffee. How can that be? But they're having a hard time bringing the coffee up. Coffee isn't growing in the middle of the prairies. I'm sorry. Coffee's growing in South America. That's where coffee is growing. So, but this is what is happening. And this is an awakening. And thank God my coffee was there this morning. It was nice. And it is awakening. It is this beautiful awakening that's coming in. And that's where we want to step into. That's what we want to step forward to. The 2 weeks after this, between this full moon and the new moon, and then going into the eclipses, it's going to be rough. We're going to see, especially when it comes to when things are hitting the New York Stock Exchange. And the New York Stock Exchange has to do with the world economy, whether you like it or not. That's just the way it works, baby. And it is showing that there is going to be, and it's hitting the Pluto, which is the Pluto, and it's hitting their second and eighth house. So it's hitting everything to do with finances. So it's an awakening. It is an awakening. High unemployment, definitely. Will people lose their jobs? Yeah. Will there be a regret? Yes. Will they deny people EI? Probably, because they don't have the money to pay out all the EI for people. Is this a force to make people to conform? Absolutely. Absolutely. And is it what they want to start pushing upon our children? Definitely. So this is like bringing in a lot of change that needs, for people to speak up more. And a lot of times we don't want to speak up more, but this is where the Aries energy comes in. If you want to push it down and just be angry with inside yourself, it's going to come out in a different way, and it's going to come out in a way that is going to be uncontrollable, and it's not going to be nice. And that's usually what happens when countries don't really speak things or talk things out. And we don't want that kind of anger coming out into the world. We want discussions. We want to be able to talk about what changes that we need to make and concessions that need to be made. That's what we want to do. Okay, that's the energy we want to push for. That's the energy we want to bring in for the transformation and for us to really move into the higher levels. And it may be that we end up doing it individually within our own families. So, because a lot of the corporations and that at this time think that they can go ahead, but it's going to be a cold winter, people. It's going to be a cold winter, and with prices too. So I was listening, I think, was it the speaker or whatever her name is? Anyway, she comes up and addresses. She used to work for CNN. Anyways, and what was she saying? It's a good thing to have high prices. That means people are buying things. Prices are going up. That means that there's a demand. No, prices are going up because there isn't the items, and it costs a lot of money to get it there. People. Fuck. So it's understanding the economy and the things that are coming forth for the economy. Because I know in the mundane world, it's going to be a tough till about the spring. Spring, things are going to start opening up a little bit more for us, but over the summer, between now, April, May, June, it's going to be crazy. It's going to be crazy, and a lot of big changes are coming in. Things that people thought would never happen. Things that we thought will never happen. It's like I never thought that. I mean, when I look at the election, there's 27 people running for mayor for Calgary, and the person who got in, I never thought would get in, but I can see why she got in, which I'm quite amazed. But then again, she did get $1 million bribe from a construction company. So there's money. The thing is that's the thing. There's money to be made, but the thing is that money going to be sustainable? That's the other part. Will the money be sustainable for things? That's the next thing that's going to come in. So it's going to be interesting on that mark. And with the global market, with what's going on in China and the craziness that's happening in China. So, oh my goodness. I mean, this moon is just going to kick ass. That's all I got to say. It's already kicking ass personally because I can feel it. And just to fall asleep last night I could just feel the activations happening with this all. So if you've been if you're feeling exhausted, which I know I am, if you're feeling exhausted, overwhelmed, you're just tired. Oh, Mary Doss, I see you on my Instagram. I sent you an email. Please answer your email. I need some information from you in order to get you your mini reading. So please send that to me. So there's so much going on, and I don't want to be. Honestly, the energy right now is good. It's good, but as long as it doesn't kick my ass, I'm very tired lately. Yeah. But it's like I want to empower. This is empowerment. So so a couple things. My full moon workbook is ready to go. So if you want the full moon workbook for Aries, and you want the new moon workbook and the full moon workbook for Scorpio, they're all ready to go. So if you want them, they're $10 each. I also, and I'm just doing this as a pre-sale, is that I have, and I'm just putting on the final touches for the 2022 ebook that I did for all the signs. So I did a horoscope for 2022 for all of the signs, and I'm pretty impressed with it. Took me a hell of a long fucking time to do it. I never thought I'd be able to. But what I did is that I did for career, I broke it down to love and relationships for the year, career and money, and home and family, and mental state. So I broke it down in general horoscope. So for each of the signs, and so you can use this for your sun sign and your rising sign and your moon sign. So that's what I did. It's only $5. I'm just doing it as a pre-sale right now for $5. And so it has all of the signs there, and each sign goes through a generalized of what's going to be going on for 2022 for you. So for each of them, and it's $5. So if you want to get that, I'll be sending them out on Friday to people who've already pre-ordered. So they'll be getting it out on Friday, because I'm putting a little final touches on it right now. So that's coming out this week. So I have that for people. So I want to help you out as much as I can and give you sort of an outlook. And that's what the astrology does. The astrology sort of gives you an idea of what the energies are, of what is coming in for you, and how you can take it. How can you work with this energy, right? That's what it's, the workbooks. It's like helping you to work with the energies. There's yoga, there's meditation in there. There's telling you, okay, what house it's in, or what house it would be in your chart. So you'd have to look it up in your chart and how that what the meaning would be for that. So trying to give you as much information for you to help you through this, because a lot of times it's like you're wandering around, you're wondering like, oh, what the fuck's going on? Why is this like this? And then you kind of look and you're like, oh, okay, all right, this is coming in, this is hitting right now, this is what's activating at this time. So have a look at it. So I'm going to send you guys off so much love. I know, Jen, it doesn't kick my ass. Well, it's going to kick your ass in a way that to motivate you, to get you going. Yes, very tired. People are tired. Headachy. A lot of headaches are coming in for people. Anxiety. And if you're really getting a lot of anxiety, then my suggestion is to go sit on your meditation pillow and start breathing. Go outside, start breathing. Pull in some ashwagandha, L-theanine, because a lot of times we get so hung up because it's like information, or people are getting emails and they're saying this is what we are now wanting you to do at work, and you're like, oh my God, what am I going to do? I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. This is where it's like, okay, you know what? Take a step back, breathe. And I know the anxiety rises up and you feel it in your stomach and you feel it in your heart, and you're just like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what direction. This is where it's like, okay, I'm going to take a breath right now. It's a lot to take in. Who can I talk to at work? And go and talk to at work. Some doctors don't want to give exemptions. Why? Because they're being looked into and they could lose their jobs. That's the whole thing. A lot of doctors, and same with nurses. So this is where people, they're feeling their hands are tied. So a lot of this energy about feeling my hands are tied, I can't do anything. I can't go forth on anything. So this energy in Aries is sort of kind of lighting that spark of what is it that you want to spark? What do you want to ignite? Because you're like feeling, I need to make this change. So if you're in a big company or something, find out who else is feeling the same way you are. And the next thing too is that, I can't tell you what to do. I can suggest, what I can see in the astrology. But when it comes down to what you need to do for you personally, that's where you got to take the responsibility to answer that question for self. And I know sometimes, talking it out, yes, definitely we can talk it out and the whole bit. But I will tell you one thing is that I know more information about this whole thing is going to be coming out over the next coming months. And especially in December, more things are going to start hitting the fan in December, and then January and February. It's just going to be nuts. So more is coming in, more information. It's, especially as Pluto goes forward and Saturn goes forward, everything's coming up to the surface and rising up. So it's just stay true to yourself, stay true to what you need to do for you. And that's the most important thing. Mostly tired from work and working on the farm, busy preparing for the future. Yeah, that's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. So, and that's the thing, doing what you're doing. That's working towards the future is the most important thing. How do you want to work towards your future? And for me, it's doing what I'm doing. This is showing up each day, doing my thing is what I do. This is my thing. Doing readings, doing the workbooks, the classes, and I'll be doing the planetary class coming up in November. And I'll be doing some more little one-day seminars too for people coming up. So this is what I do, and trying to help as much as I can within the spiritual side of things and the astrology part. And so, for somebody who's a farmer or somebody who does other things, that's, take it. This is what I'm doing. This is how I'm going to try and put my contribution to the world. And you might not think it's anything. But you'd be amazed, something that maybe you crochet or knit, or maybe you do needlepoint, or you make beautiful decorations or what have you. Know that energy that you're putting into is probably could help somebody, definitely, because that could be something that goes on their altar or something like that really helps to ignite things for them in their life. So understand that. So I'm going to send you off today with so much love, and may the Lord and the Lady watch over and bless you in all that you say and all that you be and all that you do. Tomorrow, since it is the full moon, we'll be doing a full moon meditation in the morning, and so we'll do a meditation, and I'll do little readings and that for people, 1-card readings for people tomorrow. So stay tuned, let people know, and have a blessed day, everybody. We'll talk to you tomorrow. Blessed be. Bye-bye.